will be the second seed to get us underway. Jill Crevice and myself, Pete Rogers, to talk you through it. You talked about how you liked what Garcia did in the previous round against Kalinina. There were subtle adjustments. What adjustments will she need to make today to get the win?
Yeah, just to clarify what those adjustments were that we noticed in the previous round was we always know that she's going to be on top of the baseline. She likes to have that court position consistently in matches. And I just felt that she was willing to, you know, when her opponent hit with better depth, she was willing to give up ground a little bit, and then she was immediately back forward, which I like. I like the fact that she wasn't so stubborn about being on that baseline all the time. You want her to the majority of the time because that's her style of game. That's a great move. And I also like the fact that everything off the ground on her ground strokes wasn't so flat all the time. She has the capability of adding some spin in certain situations where you're maybe behind in the point. So she was being a little bit smarter about shot selection.
Scores the first game to Swiatek.
First game.
Yeah, you kind of feel an advantage that Garcia has. It, of course, uses that smothering return position, but also being 5 for 10. Swiatek, as we know, very good kick serve. She can get on top of that kick serve, as she did in Warsaw back in 2022.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Garcia makes some adjustments on that return, because when you have that court position and your opponent does have a very good kick serve, that depth is going to be so important on the serve. So for Garcia, she's either got to maybe take it a little bit later. I mean, knowing her, she's probably going to take it earlier just to get it more in the strike zone.
Looking more into the numbers, we saw the win probability. So that Swiatek was 83% favourite for this one, which we said was a bit extreme. This is both players' 12th quarterfinal of the year. Garcia 3-8 in quarterfinals. Swiatek 8-3. But a symmetry. So maybe that's where the win predictors got their numbers from. This has been an issue this stage of tournaments throughout this year. Good starts in tournaments, just hasn't been able to see it all the way through this year. Garcia, unlike last year where she won those 4 titles.
A big fist pump after that serve. Garcia very well aware how important her serve is going to be in this match. Swiatek is another one that likes to take the return early.
Tried to there, just unable to control it.
40-15.
It's why you have to love the sport in terms of constantly evolving. It's something that, of course, Swiatek talked about saying that's why she wasn't that disappointed to lose the #1 spot. That, you know, if someone had said to her in 2020 you'd have the next couple of years that she has had, she almost wouldn't believe them. Talking about sport being a cycle of constant changes. Didn't like the use of the word defend either, or defense. Prefers gain and achieve. She achieved what she wanted to do there on that backhand.
Yeah, she's spoken a lot about coming into Beijing. This is the first time she's been playing this event, but her goal coming into this tournament was what you said, just being able to try and develop her game and get a little bit stronger. And we, you know, talking about how she can maybe view this part of the year with maybe not having the weeks that are up to her standards. And that was exactly the point that she's trying to focus on, was just learning and developing. It's just such a, I mean, I feel like the top players always have that kind of mindset anyway, even when they are at the top. Even when she was #1, she still had that growth mindset, which is huge.
Finds the line. It's a good hold. We know what a great front runner Iga Swiatek is, so important to hang with the pole early on. And Garcia has done just that. Yeah, I think even when Swiatek had that ridiculous run last year with all those match wins in a row, it's good that it was kind of always going to happen that the players were going to catch up. The gap was going to be reduced. And now we've got some terrific rivalries at the top end of this sport. Of course, the beginning half of this year, we were all talking about the big three with Rybakina, Sabalenka and Swiatek. But Coco Gauff didn't like that. Neither did Vondrousova. They've kicked that down. And we're back to the unpredictable nature of who might come through at a WTA 1000.
Which I like that. I find exciting.
Yeah, it's great.
I think, yeah, there are definitely favorites that you feel like could win the slams, but I think all these players, they don't take anyone lightly. I mean, they feel like every match is difficult. The depth of the women's game is so strong.
And they're also different players, which
Right.
really adds to it. If you look at the WTA top 8 right now for Cancun, I mean, you've got the courtcraft and nous of Jabeur and Muchova and Vondrousova. You've got the big ball striking capability of Rybakina and Sabalenka, the all-round capability of Swiatek, the athleticism of Gauff. So much there. Comfortable service hold for Swiatek. Leads 2-1, first set.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
Quarterfinal today, incidentally. The China Open. This is the first of 4 quarters. After this one, not before 2:30, Sakari Goff. Third up, Ostapenko, Samsonova. And then the evening session, Sabalenka, Rybakina. It is a terrific lineup. So many big names here. And so many of them through to the last 8.
Swiatek does such a good job of recognizing when that ball is going to land short, and she's so on top of the ball so fast that even that was a mishit from Garcia, and you thought it might have been a little bit tough because it was so low, but she gets up there so fast to be able to still swing through that ball.
Wow. Certainly hitting her spots with the serve.
40-30.
It's just a second ace, but has had a number of unreturnables so far. Garcia. First serve percentage, 11 from 13. Super serving start from the French player. Continues to serve like that. It's going to be tough for Swiatek to break.
2 against all.
Well, I think Garcia knows how important this serve is going to be. If she has one little dip, sometimes, as we know, these matches just a point here and there. And if you have one dip, that's where Swiatek really takes advantage in those moments. So I think we saw Garcia was yesterday in her match. She got frustrated, but she was serving very well, but got frustrated very easily when she all of a sudden didn't get a couple first serves in. I think that's because she knows how important it is. It just allows her to stay inside the court, have that court position, and take control. And you have to be able to do that against Swiatek.
Oh, well. I was expecting Garcia to make that one.
15-9.
Just tried to cushion it. Maybe open the racket face a little too much. You also talk about a brilliant singles record, 11 titles throughout her career, 3 1000s. But has 8 doubles titles as well, 2 Grand Slams. Both forehands going toe-to-toe with Swiatek, who comes out on top.
30-11.
They both have it. Good power off the ground. Both of these women. Swiatek on the forehand, just a little bit more heaviness to her ball. And in that case, you could see it there. It forced Garcia just to get a little late on that last forehand.
Another love service hold. It's dropped just the 1 point so far on serve. The world number 2. And that's exactly where we are in this opening set. On serve, 3-2. So high-level tennis so far in this first quarterfinal. Foot speed of Swiatek. Can't get to the dead net court.
Please sit down quickly, ladies and gentlemen, opposite me. Thank you. Please sit down.
They're the culprits. Being allowed in a little late after the sit down. Yeah, there's a nice combination from Garcia, just dropping the volley short as well, which meant Swiatek was just stretching for the backhand.
Maybe could have done a little bit more with the volley, but I like her intention of coming forward, Garcia. That's something her coach in particular has been working on with her, to use that play a little bit more. She's so solid at the net. You mentioned her exceptional doubles play as well. I don't think we see that enough from her, especially with how close inside the court she is. You think she would use that a little bit more.
30-50. Let first serve.
Oh, it's exquisite. Talked about it maybe not getting the previous volley short enough. Certainly did there.
And she hits with such aggression that she knows on these balls from Swiatek, it's hard to throw in the lob on those type of approach shots. So for Garcia, it just gives her a lot of room to be able and feel comfortable to close on that net, which made that ball a little bit easier to control.
Game Garcia. 3 games all.
Still serving superbly well. Garcia racing through the games here. 3 games apiece.
It's like a serving exhibition from both players.
Yeah, both first serve percentages in the 70s. 10 from 11 behind the first serve. Swiatek, she's 4 from 4 behind the second serve as well.
You just feel like any second serve that you have to take that chance and go after it, because neither player right now is getting that many looks at a second serve.
Can Garcia do anything different off the return here? I mean, the fact she's only won 1 point is it time to adjust position-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think she was looking to take that one earlier. And I think she has to do that because the kick is getting above her shoulders a little bit more.
Very comfortable service hold once again. Still only lost the 1 point on serve, Swiatek. Leads 4-3. Change. Oh, it's
nice.
Brilliant tennis. It's so sharp at the front of the court.
15 love.
Knew exactly what Swiatek was going to do off the drop shot.
Yeah, the recognition of it was such a good drop shot, but the recognition of realizing that one's tough to take down the line because you can get a little bit more when you hit that ball cross court, just a little bit more pace on it, and Garcia anticipated well there.
Oh, it's brutal backhand. Hasn't had too many opportunities off the return to get up the court, Swiatek, but took advantage of this chance.
Just that shot right there it can start to put so much pressure on you because that added pressure of just knowing that you can't just put that ball back in play. Everything has to be so spot on.
Left for serve.
And it was a good return from Swiatek, and it got Garcia on her back foot. Wow, very good second serve from Garcia, right on the line. A lot of kick on that serve.
You kind of feel the way she's striking the first serve. Why not go for the second serve as well? First serve percentage has been so high. Oh, well, a little bit of luck with the net cord, but able to counterpunch really well there, the second seed.
Game, Garcia. 4 games on.
Court playing quick. Players playing quick. 4 games apiece. No sign of a break whatsoever. Of course, talking of quick courts, there's interesting comments as well from Iga Swiatek just a couple of weeks ago about Wimbledon, how she still feels it's going to take her a couple of years before she plays her best tennis on a grass court. Of course, still yet to win Wimbledon or the Australian Open.
Good pressure from Garcia. We asked me what Garcia can change on the return in particular, and we knew she was probably going to try and take it earlier just to get it more in her strike zone. And she just moved through that, was a couple steps more forward, and I like that she's trying to apply that pressure on the second, just hit and come in, force Swiatek to try and go for that target.
That's brilliant from Swiatek, under real pressure there. But the foot speed, core strength and balance on that running forehand was something special.
And you can't blame Garcia for looking to come forward on that. She hit a great backhand down the line. You feel like Swiatek would be in trouble on that, but she's so quick. She does that slide to the forehand and gets such a strong position. That's great body serve. Good time to throw that in when Garcia was starting to feel more comfortable and get good strikes on the return. It's a good serve to go for when your opponent does have that close position inside the baseline.
Still nothing giving in these service games. Both players comfortably in the plus when it comes to winners and unforced errors. Kind of waiting for one of them to drop their level. Hasn't happened so far. Swiatek a game away from taking the set, 5-4.
Time.
There's a chance for Swiatek. I suppose this is what happens when you're up against an opponent who hasn't given you many chances. You've suddenly got a bit of time on the ball. It comes as a bit of a surprise. Haven't seen too many unforced errors from either of these players, only 10 in total in this opening set.
It's been very high quality. That when you see a mistake like that, I was just so surprised. Just misjudged that ball, and that's how high quality this match has been.
Yeah, that a third ace for Garcia. 10 winners, 6 unforced errors. And there's another.
Jeez.
Blink and you miss it type of a service game. First serve percentage, around 77% right now. Just hasn't given Swiatek a sniff. Neither has Swiatek, though. As I've said before, Pole has only lost 2 points on serve. Only been playing 35 minutes, and we've had 10 games. They're enjoying life right now.
I just don't know where she's going to go. Garcia just freezing at the baseline there. Another great placement on the serve from Swiatek.
I just wonder about taking a step further back, Garcia, because he's only won 1 point out of 18 off the first serve return. Just hasn't been able to redirect quickly like that. And when Swiatek's hit her spots, she's been on the stretch.
She just doesn't have a lot of time. Swiatek hitting with a lot of pace, but I feel like Garcia feels like she can cut off the angle more when she's more inside the court, and feels like she can maybe take at least the angle serve away from Swiatek.
And again, you just feel there, is she rushing herself? Either way, she believes she can turn it around with playing that game style, but it's a tiebreaker at worst for Swiatek. Another love service hold for the former world #1, leads 6-5. A return to get to 30. It's been a very serve-dominated opening set. Garcia hoping it stays that way, hoping to try and take us into a tiebreak. Points like that will certainly help. And getting himself on the front foot.
I think there was one. I think one of Garcia's games was 40-30, because I was thinking, okay, that was the toughest game so far, but it's just been an amazing serving performance from both.
Yeah, I agree. I think you are right. I'm just going to double check it.
Okay.
There definitely has been one, maybe two.
Yeah, and when you have players that are serving so well, you mentioned the last couple games, like what can you do different? And you can try and adjust your return position just to try and get into the head of your opponent. That's a tough one to control. Good volley right down the center of the court.
So I've shocked myself here. Second game of the match, there was a juice game.
I don't remember
Garcia's
that either.
First service game taken to juice. And then there's been 2 other games that have gone to 30. That's it. Everything else either to love or to 15.
But all on
Majority to
Garcia's serve. I think the tightest games have been all on Garcia's serve.
Swiatek's only lost 2 points.
Yeah.
On serve all match. Again, being super aggressive with the second serve there. Well, it's had that inevitable feeling, hasn't it, that we were heading for a tiebreaker early on in this one. And that's exactly where we are headed. It's talking about the tiebreak records on the year. Garcia 10-8, Swiatek 9-4. It's going to come down to maybe a lapse in concentration, a bit of brilliance. Barely anything separating these two.
It's the first real big spray off the ground that we've seen from Garcia.
6th ace for the world number 10.
Garcia.
That's the first mini break. Super return. That range from Garcia, and as much as we were talking about, could give a different look. She's stubborn, and that's why.
Yeah, sometimes it's just not backing down and thinking you can, if you connect on one of these serves, maybe if you guess right or notice little things where you can connect with that return, it can make such a big difference if you just keep at it. That one, see, I love that adjustment from Swiatek into the body. As soon as your opponent maybe gets a little bit more comfortable, that body serve can be such a good time to throw that in.
Yeah, I also wonder from Garcia's point of view, isn't, as I say, she's stubborn, but I think maybe the mindset is if you just constantly keep that pressure on, the hope is it will probably tell on the opposing server. You're constantly seeing someone up against you, and in the big moments, maybe the serve will break down. Should be frustrated with missing that one.
Yeah, but I agree with you that core position can really get into the mind or the head of your opponent. Swiatek just forgetting to switch sides there. But it can get into the mind. You can get your opponent to start thinking about, oh my gosh, where do I need to serve? What do I need to do? Because you know that ball is just going to be on you so quickly. But Swiatek's done a good job in this first set because she knows Garcia is going to play that way. So she's just done a good job of staying focused and keeping that concentration on her serve.
We were expecting tight matches today. 5 of the world's top 6 in the quarterfinals here in Beijing. And you've got a former champion in Garcia who won here in 2017. That's the only time she got past the last 16, by the way. So omens are good. She's looking good in this first set at 4-2 in the tiebreaker. If she keeps hitting her spots with the serve, it's going to be very tough for Swiatek.
5-2, Garcia.
I don't think she'll change up the return position here either.
Not likely.
Oh, well, just didn't quite catch the return. And under real pressure, Swiatek comes up with the goods on the forehand pass.
I like that decision making though, because 5-2, you have a little bit of room, like just keep hitting and coming forward. Swiatek hasn't, in the area of her game right now, that's one area where she hasn't been able to get much of an advantage is when Garcia's at the net. So I like that intention from Garcia.
Still just the 1 mini break. Will that be enough for Garcia? A bit of positivity from the world number 2 after that point. Oh, well, talk about fine margins. Just dropping wide off the net.
For Garcia.
And if you're Swiatek, you're just making sure you make the return. That's the question, if you can.
She hit that return so well. I mean, that was big credit to Garcia to be ready and be able to fend off that pace on the return.
2 set points. And gets the mini break back in the nick of time.
6-5.
These two
Garcia.
have just not been separated in this opening set.
That was so good from Swiatek. It was a well-played point from Garcia and was able, off of that nice approach shot, Swiatek somehow getting to the feet of Garcia, making it a very difficult volley.
Still set point. Well, did so well there, Swiatek, because it was a really meaty, dangerous return. But the pole able to stay strong on the baseline and gets back to 6 points all.
Just incredible amount of focus, I think, from Swiatek, 2 set points down, just to be able to, for me, stay in that rally, because that was great hitting from Garcia. The depth that she got, Swiatek made that look easy, that forehand angle cross court. That was not easy to produce that shot off of such a deep ball.
Well, we so often talk about the great players, and I know there's a bit of a philosophy that when the pressure moments come, they actually keep their level the same. They don't dip, whereas a lot of players dip. The really great players will often go up in the pressure moments. You kind of feel Swiatek, those last 2 points, was able to do that. It's one of the longest rallies we've had. And Swiatek just a little more consistent at the back end of this tiebreaker. And this time it's her turn to have a set point. Gonna feel for whoever loses this first set, because they've both played some great tennis. Oh, wow. What tennis. This time it's Garcia's turn to dig in.
Yeah, I can understand the frustration there. She had more time on that ball than any in that rally, Swiatek, and just overhit it slightly, but great defense from Garcia. You could hear the effort of just trying to stay in that rally.
So who's going to have the next set point? Oh. It will be Garcia.
That's so good. Great second serve.
Garcia.
Just at this stage, just to not hesitate at all and cut it so fine on that angle.
Set point number 3 for the French player.
8 all.
I think we were right about the win predictor, Jill.
Yeah.
Being so one-sided. We were thinking this was a tough one to call.
What was it, 84% for Swiatek?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Certainly not that at the moment. It's a coin flip. And now the percentages in Garcia's favour. Excellent deep return.
Garcia.
And it's another set point on her serve. Her team showing encouragement. Sums up the set. Full of brilliant serving and terrific power tennis. And a set that really could have gone either way. Garcia in the end saving a set point before she finally finds a way to get over the line. Rich in quality for 54 minutes, but it's gone Garcia's way, 7-6.
Thank you. Second set. Garcia to serve.
Well, Garcia right away taking a little bit off that first serve already. And Swiatek, as we know, played a very good set. Had a set point in that first set. It's just Garcia was able to just get the edge at the end. Good aggressive play to close that first set out. And has the advantage to start serving in this second set.
Love 30.
Been in this situation before, love 30 down.
52.
Has found serves like that before. Just love playing
30.
this part of the world. Of course, I mentioned that fantastic win in 2017 here, but also winning Wuhan that year to make the WTA finals. Yeah, there's the win probability. That's how much it switched. Still favouring Swiatek. That's a massive recovery from love 30 down. First game of any set, so important, particularly though after such a brutal opening set. And all the fine margins right now going Garcia's way.
These are one of those sets that I don't necessarily pay attention to the numbers so much. We know how both players were serving exceptionally well. Garcia is double the winners of Swiatek. You don't see that too often, but we know there wasn't much margin. Swiatek did have a set point in that first set, so it could have easily gone the other way, but Garcia was the one that was able to get that break in the end, and on her serve was able to close it out. It was just great serving performance from both players. Smart from Garcia, I think, right away in this second set, just to keep that momentum to hit and come forward, come to the net. It just forces Swiatek to think about her shot a little bit more, how to get that ball by Garcia at the net.
As I said before, Swiatek's such a great front runner. So the win probability still had her in front, which we're a little surprised by. Record from a set down this year, won 4, lost 9. So which is an okay record, but not as strong as the likes of Rybakina.
Thirty, 15.
And just trying to apply the pressure, Garcia.
40, 15.
I still continue to like that play from Garcia. This approach shot maybe would have loved to get it more off the court. Swiatek only having to take one step to set up for that pass. That's better. That one's skidding off the line.
40, 30.
Having said that, sometimes I also think if you're going to approach the net, sometimes that hard middle ball is good, but it has to be straight down the middle, because in that case that can take away angles from your opponent to be able to strike that ball. But that one, the previous point, that one was right in the strike zone of Swiatek.
Game Swiatek.
Levels things up. Still no break points. Still, of course, no breaks to serve. A little look of concern from Swiatek. Just wonder whether that's about the return, what to do off the return. Also, Daria, her psychologist here, as well as Thomas Witkorowski.
15 love. On.
That time Swiatek even guessed right, but just the placement and the power, Swiatek unable to control that return. First point, Garcia had gotten Swiatek guessing a little bit about where she was going to place that serve.
Oh, it's an extraordinary point. Not quite sure how Swiatek's won it. A brilliant defense from the pole. And how big a point could that turn out to be?
Yeah, it just hit such a strong ball off of the overhead. It just caught Garcia by surprise, but Swiatek handling that short ball, perfect placement, needed that depth on that where, because of where Garcia was in the court.
Again, just when you think there could be a chance, finds another fine first serve. Just seemed to decelerate on that forehand.
Yeah, sometimes it's surprising from Garcia with how aggressive she's been overall, but sometimes you see that open court and you know you just have to maybe guide it over there, and that can sometimes create the unforced error.
We've waited a long time, over an hour. Finally, we have a break point. Just starting to make a few more returns. World number 2. And there you have it. Talked about that point that somehow Swiatek won, and you just wondered whether it would be significant at the time. Did prove to be significant because Swiatek breaks. It's the first break we've had in this match. Leads 2-1 second set. There was perhaps a little bit of luck with that point that she won at 30-15 down. She created that luck with the hustle and fighting and scrapping. Now has the lead in this set. Has new balls 2, 2-1. So many attributes to like, Jill, about Swiatek and what she's achieved in this sport, 4-time Grand Slam champion. What's your favorite attribute about her? What impresses you the most?
Oh, God, that's a tough question because there's so many. Why are you throwing me such a tough question?
Well, it's just because these players just keep holding serve, so you need to talk about something, you know.
I think for me, she has an incredible amount of mental toughness. I mean, we see signs of frustration. Of course, all the players are going to get frustrated. It's part of the sport. But the way she can bounce back, I think, is one of her biggest assets. sorry, I think I mentioned it in the first set too, just to continue that point, is the amount also that she can maybe be under pressure or down in a point and still trust herself to go full after everything, and not just, you know, not just settle for, okay, I'm just going to rally, get the ball and play. Like, she still trusts her game so much that she goes after big shots at big moments.
We saw that in the tiebreaker, didn't we? Especially when she went behind in those big moments to save those initial set points. It was just too good in the end from Garcia, which I'm sure Swiatek will have recognized. Incidentally, we mentioned, you know, you mentioned mental toughness. You know, her record from a set down this year hasn't been as strong. 4 wins, 9 losses. Last year, she was 10-7, which is quite incredible when you consider you lose the first set to still have a win percentage, and such a good win percentage too.
Just guiding that one a little bit. The last 2 backhands actually from Swiatek.
Just fly.
30-15.
That one's that's what happens when you just throw in that second serve to want to just get it into the court. I think she was trying to change it up because Swiatek had been leaning to her left for the backhand a little bit, but that one just didn't have enough on it. That's better.
40-30.
9th ace in the match for Garcia. Still the serve remains a real high point. 74% first serve percentage in this set, but Swiatek doing a better job returning most of them. And the difference, set 2 to set 1. Returning that one, albeit a second serve in fine fashion as well.
Advantage, Garcia.
Wanting the same ball, like a fellow Frenchman, Richard Gasquet.
Just a little bit too behind on the ball. Great pace and acceleration from Swiatek.
Oh, not quite enough on the approach, and Garcia is made to pay.
Advantage, Swiatek.
She's got such good strength on the stretch, Swiatek, on the full run. And it had to have the pace on that ball, too, because Garcia was closing hard at the net. Anything off pace, Garcia, I think, was going to have a play on that.
Break point. Just drifts wide. Quality point though from Garcia. And going full throttle. Oh, well, I think it ended up working out even better for Swiatek. I'm sure she meant it to be far away from the line, but Garcia ended up running into the ball.
I think that's where that adjustment on that court position could have been. She was so on top of the baseline, and Swiatek understanding that so well, knowing that she had to get that ball just inside the baseline to rush Garcia.
Yeah, that's fantastic tennis. And Swiatek breaks again to strengthen her grip on this second set.
Swiatek leads live 4-1.
Her team rightly happy. A 4-1 lead for the world number 2.
Please sit down quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
各位观众，比赛即将开始，请您抓紧时间落座。
Time.
Well, good news for Garcia fans watching this. Jill's just pointed out, of course, one time Garcia beat Swiatek, that was in Warsaw, that crazy run of wins that Swiatek was on at the time. Swiatek won the second set 6-1 on that day, and I think everyone thought at the time Paul was going to run away with the match. It was Garcia who then went and won the deciding set 6-4. Of course, we're not at a deciding set yet.
15 up.
Swiatek still yet to face any break points on serve, so it'd have to be some turnaround for her to lose this set now, up a double break. It's like tennis and fast forward.
Goodness.
Both players not budging off the baseline.
Oh my God. I started laughing too with how incredibly powerful everything was in that point. Just toe to toe, the pace that they both brought impressive. It's good to see Caroline smile as well, being down a double break in this second set, just to maybe loosen some tension a little bit.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about smiling, of course. Coco Gauff referencing it, saying how important it was for her, and Sakkari then following suit, saying she took inspiration from Gauff smiling. She needed to smile more. That worked in Guadalajara for her.
It seems to be working across the board for everyone. That
Oh,
wow.
She'll be smiling after that point. Garcia inside anyway. Just as I was saying, hasn't had any break points in this match. Here are two. Maybe this set isn't done just yet. Well, gets one of the two breaks back. Where did that game come from?
She smiled. All of a sudden played incredible 3 points.
I remember being a tennis coach back in the day when Nadal made his breakthrough, and looking across the tennis center and everyone wearing those long shorts and the vest-like tops, the influence that he had. Now I imagine I'd just look across a load of 10-year-olds and they're all just smiling, all on the court, all the time.
I hope that's the case.
That is the case. Yeah.
I hope it becomes infectious
with the
with the youngsters.
Of Alcaraz, Gauff, Sakkari.
I know a lot of coaches that have tried to incorporate that from the sideline in particular, when they can feel that their players may be feeling a little stressful or a little bit more tense, and it's not easy to do.
I was just about to ask you that. How easy is it to do?
No, it's not easy to do, especially if you're at a stage where you're very frustrated or you don't feel like you're playing your best. But it's amazing how physiologically it does have an impact.
Endorphins that it releases.
Yeah, exactly.
And, as we know, everything's connected to the mind. It has great effect on the body. has been a 5-star
30-15.
serving performance from Garcia. 10th ace. Oh yes, off the back foot, but no problem for Swiatek.
30.
Oh, that happened so fast. It was very difficult to read on the rise and got such good acceleration on that ball.
Comebacks on in this set. Reduces the deficit. 4-1 down to 4-3. So Swiatek, who did have a double break cushion, now just the one break, serving 4-3.
Got out of the way nicely on that one, Garcia. Sometimes on the body serve, you can tend to panic and rush yourself, but did a good job of using the pace and just redirecting nicely on that return. Good defense from Garcia. Is incredible redirection of the pace off the ground from Swiatek, but Garcia just covering the court well there with her speed.
Vital. Under pressure again there, Swiatek, but ability to stay low and stay strong. Such strength in those legs.
And that's the key on those deep balls, and we see so many players do it often. It really does help you just stay in control of that ball.
Yeah, big reaction from Swiatek. Momentum with Garcia heading into that game, but that just checks that momentum. The world number 2, a game away from taking us the distance. Sadly unable to hear Miriam Blair saying that. Any idea, Jill? Is it a technical issue or?
I'm not sure. No hesitation on that one. I haven't seen either player actually change direction that often. I think because they're both doing a good job of rushing each other, hitting with so much pace. I mean, we rarely see them have that much time on the ball to be able to redirect comfortably.
Such a good backhand. Again, we talk about the importance of staying low.
40-15. Game Garcia.
Well, that's the question of Swiatek. Done a good job of
Swiatek leads by
coming
5
back
games
in this second set. I think many thought Swiatek was going to race through it when she went up 4-1, but there's still work to do for the world number 2. Biggest week for tourism, and great to have this tournament. Lots of fans coming to it to enjoy it on their days off. Will Swiatek enjoy serving out this set? Certainly will if she's able to do it. 5-4. Well, again, that smothering game style of Garcia.
Love 15.
It's taking over the point.
It's hard to know what to do with that ball, that middle volley right there. She did have a few options, and to try and get it by Garcia at the net is tough with how much she closes hard.
Just about surviving in that point, Swiatek. Slight miss-hit forehand. Again, this is where we talk about Garcia's mindset and that the stubbornness to keep going at this attacking return position. She sometimes feel the pressure gets to opponents.
But it can work so often too when she's playing well. Just there, just rushing Swiatek on the baseline. But she's got to play with such confidence because it is a high risk game style that she plays. And if there's even a moment mid-swing where she's doubting herself, that's where she can spray some balls. But she strikes it with confidence. It's excellent like that.
Wow.
Jeez.
What a return that is. Not a bad time to find it. There's the smile again. Oh. It's almost on the half volley. Extraordinary. And having been down a double break, here's a chance to get back to level pegging in set 2. What a game. Saw in the first set, wasn't timing the return that well. Garcia, a lot of cheap points, but she's stuck with the game plan of being super aggressive, and she's found her timing. Breaks Swiatek for a second time. From a double break down, back to 5-all.
Yeah, just impressive. I think that the biggest difference I saw was in the previous service game too, where she got one of the first break back. And it was very decisive to be committed, to just be like, okay, hit and run forward, keep going through the ball. And I do really feel like that helped her lift the confidence a little bit more on the return. And credit to her, she kept going after it on that return game as well. Swiatek trying to do the same thing. Just swing and come in, but just over hitting on that return.
Ace number 12. And ace number 13. Serve percentage has dropped a little in this second set, from 71% in the first to 66%. But she's starting to do real damage off the first serve once more. Oh, that's a fine strike. Needs a few more of those, Swiatek. Been outplayed for the last 5 games.
Well, she's doing a good job of trying to stay calm out there, Swiatek. You know she's not going to, can't be happy about being up a double break, and then Garcia definitely lifting her level to even it out, but Swiatek trying to stay composed.
Use.
We didn't even get a break point in the first set. It's been a very different type of second set. In fact, we've seen 4 breaks. Swiatek threatening again.
Advantage, Garcia.
Serving away out of trouble. Encouragement from her team, having been down 4-1 and a double break in this second set. She's won 5 out of the last 6 games and is a game away from a place in the semi-finals here in Beijing. The former champion looking good. No, she's just missed it. A little bit of fortune for Swiatek. All of a sudden, Garcia's just found the return, hasn't she?
Yeah. Well, I think, but the fact that she's kept being aggressive throughout the entire match, whether she missed some or made some, we know that's what she does. But yeah, she's found that rhythm. I don't know if she's noticed something about Swiatek's service patterns, or she has taken the ball even earlier, especially on the second.
This is where we
Ooh,
talk about...
almost another one.
We talk about tennis players being stubborn. It's a key word. So many tennis players are stubborn.
It is a good thing to some degree.
Yeah. It's that, again,
Is
it's
that
the
where you were
balance, isn't
going?
it? Yeah, that's where I was going in terms of it can be a good and a bad thing. I think overall it's more of a good thing.
Yeah.
You have to have stubbornness to make it. And that stubbornness as we're seeing, she's finding a way to find the rhythm off the return, off the Swiatek serve. Because this is night and day right now with what we were seeing in the first set, where, I mean, Swiatek was barely losing a point on serve because Garcia was barely making a return.
Right.
Now, it's barely missing a return, and the pressure is relentless on the shoulders of the world number 2. Oh, it's a big forehand. Just when you thought Garcia had turned the rally around, Swiatek comes up with the goods.
I also at moments don't feel like she's going to get that much pace on that ball from that position, but she's so quick with the hand, and I think it caught Garcia by surprise too. She thought she was going to have a little bit more time than she did.
We've seen the play a number of times, maybe didn't get enough on that second serve return. Swiatek survives. I feel that's what she's doing right now.
I still like that play though, 30-all. She's got the guts to go after it just to try and create a match point.
Finally gets an unreturned serve.
6 games all, tiebreaker.
And it's a second tiebreaker. Massive hold from Swiatek. As I said, during the game was under just huge pressure. I feel this match deserves a third set. It's been that even. Wild.
2-0, Swiatek.
Just taking her eye off the ball. I think those last couple of forehands were really flying on her.
You said, when I asked
3-0,
what's the
Swiatek.
most impressive attribute about Swiatek, you said her mental toughness. We've certainly seen that in the last 5 minutes. That was a gutsy service hold to stay in the match. It's been a great start to this tiebreaker too.
forehand getting a little bit loose from Garcia in this tiebreak. Rushing a little bit to get up to the line.
It was a must-make forehand. Sorry, 5-love would have been too far. Too much of a deficit. If she can steal this point, she'll be right back in the tiebreaker. Good defense though from Swiatek. Once again showing her toughness. It's a healthy lead in the tiebreaker, but let's not forget she had a healthy lead in the set. Was up a double break at 4-1. At that point hadn't even faced a break point.
She's done such a good job of not panicking. I mean, up a double break 4-1, and then Garcia lifted the level, but you don't see any signs from Swiatek of any signs of frustration. Just didn't allow herself to panic in that moment.
Oh, it's brilliant. Fantastic play from Garcia. Not only the touch, but the reactions too.
5-2, Swiatek.
I think Garcia understanding that Swiatek just noticing her racket head, knowing she was going to come over that ball, and it's easier to get the pace on the cross court. So good job covering that ball and very quick reaction at the net.
Swiatek.
Wow. As I say, this set has been completely different to the previous one, despite ending up in the same situation. It's had many twists and turns. And that 14th ace just applies the pressure once again to Swiatek. We've been up 4-love, getting pegged back again here. It's had a really high first serve percentage, Swiatek, all through this match. How she would like another first serve here. Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
We all knew what was coming. It was just whether or not it was going to be in or out. And we got our answer. Swiatek's won just 2 out of 10 points behind the second serve in this set. Huge difference from 86% of points she won in the first set. So we're going to have a set point or a match point next.
Oh, wow.
By the skin of Swiatek's teeth, it'll be a set point.
You just watch that ball hoping it's going to go wide if you're Swiatek.
Iga Swiatek finally shakes off Caroline Garcia. Having been up a double break, peg back, up 4-11 the tiebreaker, peg back. But her mental toughness shines through, and we head to a decider. Swiatek taking the second on the tiebreak. A little later than that. In 2 dramatic sets. Third set record, as you can see there, 12-9 for Garcia, 8-6 for Swiatek. So pretty even there too.
Thank you.
Which means that Jill's fence sitting makes more sense.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll ask you another question though. And you're not allowed to get out of this one. What will be the definitive factor that decides this third set?
Well, we've been talking the entire match about how an exceptional service performance it's been from both. And I do think it's gonna, I think either player, if either one has that a little dip, we see how both of them have been so aggressive on the second serve. So I feel like when either player gets that moment to attack a second serve or gets a look at any second serves, I think that's the player that's going to have the slight advantage. I mean, even when Swiatek got the set point in the second set, as soon as Garcia missed her first serve, I felt like, okay, this could be the set here.
Nice steady opening service game. Both players, of course, taking bathroom breaks prior to the start of this third set. And maybe Swiatek just calming herself down. Even though we didn't see much of a reaction when she won that second set, knowing that there would have been a big high for her emotionally coming through such a battle, especially with Garcia fighting back like she did time and time again.
Well, very similar numbers, I would say, to the first set. Not much separating the two players. Similar as far as winners as well. Garcia having more winners. She's the one that's been well inside the baseline, but overall pretty even. Swiatek serving overall better in that second set. I think that's why she was able to go up a double break, because the first serve percentage of Garcia had dropped a little bit. So that's why we're saying going into that third, that's going to be such an important number.
The big difference from set 1 to set 2, which wasn't in those statistics there, was it? Isn't both players doing a lot more damage off the second serve? Swiatek winning just 20% behind her second serve, 29% for Garcia. So as you say, first serve percentage likely to be very key for who's going to come out on top of this deciding set.
Love for 30.
Aces keep on coming. Yeah, terrific rotation on the ball. Such a fast swing, isn't it?
15, 40.
Generates a sprint, dipping it down inside the line.
Well, that's it makes it so rock solid as well, is that acceleration. I mean, not only that not hesitating to hit that ball, but that quick hand through the ball creates another level of safety.
And it's created 2 break points.
30, 40.
Oh, would you believe it? Just a second double fault, but not the time she would have wanted it. Caroline Garcia. And an early break for Swiatek, and having had to come from a double breakdown in the second set. Again, Garcia finds herself up against a deficit.
Went for quite a big second serve on break point as well. Not only with the pace, but going really close to the line.
As the old saying goes, live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah. To give even more credit to Swiatek on her serve as well, because you mentioned the ace count of Garcia, 15 for the match. Swiatek has 3. And normally when you're playing an opponent that's serving so well with quite a few aces, that can apply some pressure on the serve where you can feel it on the other end of the court, but she's been so good at just focusing on her serve and being willing to, we talk about acceptance so much, you and I, in the past few days, and just being willing to accept that, okay, that, you know, she's serving well today. I just got to focus on what I need to do, and she's done a good job on her serve.
Backs up the break. And again, has a healthy lead in a set. Swiatek this time 3-love.
15 love.
Yeah, good close from Garcia, showing some signs of frustration, but trying to take those breaths just to calm herself again, just to try and get back into this match.
That was an important game for Garcia, just to steady the ship.
Last 3 games to 1.
I'd argue that this has perhaps been her best performance of the year. As I say, yet to beat a top 10 player. 0-4 in 2023. And of course, Swiatek isn't just any top 10 player. 4-time Grand Slam champion, world number 2. And it's not like Swiatek's played a poor match. This has just been top-level tennis from start to finish. Well, we hope to finish.
It's an excellent pickup from Swiatek off the baseline. Garcia once again coming flying through that return. The pickup, luckily for Swiatek, stayed nice and low, forcing Garcia to have to hit up on that slice.
Again, same tactic from Garcia, applying the pressure, but this is why Swiatek's one of the best in the world. And that strength on the counter punch. So rarely is she knocked back. I wonder, incidentally, that the one win that Garcia did have over Swiatek, we've already referenced it. She went up a set, lost the second, and then won the third. Swiatek's never won from a set down against Garcia. But serves like that could well change today.
came in on a much better ball there from Garcia. She was able to get the ball off the court a little bit better. Again, the depth on the volley was crucial there to get something that she could put away in the end.
Again, a big shot to come on. Finish line now in sight for Swiatek, leads 4-1. Well, it's just rock solid hitting, isn't it, from Swiatek? And it's so rare, isn't it, to see her falling back, not looking balanced on a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. She's got such not only good footwork, but the way she stretches out on the full stretch when she's been pushed out wide. She just gets so balanced. We see her slide so often and get so low with the legs. I think now too in this third set, after the return, she's waiting a little bit more inside the baseline. She's not hitting and falling backward. I don't think she's done it that often in this match, but in that last point, that was something that was apparent to me, just being willing to look for that opportunity to attack the next one.
Oh, yes, that's very tidy tennis.
Yeah. It's a great overhead. Pretty deep in the court as well.
What's it like, Jill, playing a player like Garcia, who is just relentless with this attacking nature?
Well, that's why I brought up the serve in particular with Swiatek, because when someone's serving that well, I mean, you automatically think, oh my gosh, I haven't had a look on a return. It puts more pressure on your serve. But with the style that she plays, you have to accept that she's going to hit some aces, she's going to hit some winners. But you know, if you dig in, that she can make unforced errors too, because it is a higher risk style of play. There's just a slight hesitation from Garcia on the baseline to get over to that ball.
I said in the second set, and I was wrong in the end, which certainly isn't the first, that the fact that Swiatek got a double break lead, we thought that the set was done. You think the same here, but you just never know with the way these two have played. Threatening a double break though here at Swiatek. Dangerous times for Garcia. Just been able to be that much more consistent in this deciding set. Been able to ask a few more questions of Garcia. She's only winning 17% of points when she's missing the first serve. Break point for the second seed. Well, it's a shame for Garcia. You can perhaps understand that her level has finally dropped. It's been so high for so long. And Swiatek has taken full advantage. And she does indeed break again. And leads 5-1 in this deciding set.
Yeah, just a few more unforced errors. All of a sudden, this we had talked about earlier is with the type of tennis she plays, that she has to strike the ball with confidence. As if there's any moment that she doubts herself, and you just felt, you could see it as she was mid-swing, just not feeling super sure on a couple of those shots that she missed.
You know, Jill, it's been a tough couple of months for Swiatek compared to her extremely lofty standards. Just how big a win might this be if she gets over the line here?
Yeah, very big, I think, just because of how she's been challenged. I mean, she's faced someone that's been, I mean, I feel like until the last few games, I feel like Garcia's been on fire pretty much this whole match. And Swiatek very aware. It only came down to 1 or 2 points here and there in those first couple sets.
It will actually be a first 3-set win for Swiatek. You have to go back to beating Zheng Chunwen in Cincinnati. She's lost a couple of 3-setters since then to Ostapenko at the US, and last week in Tokyo to Kudermetova. It has been a real battle. This has been tough from start to finish, but a chance to finish here for Iga Swiatek. 3 match points. Still no change from Garcia. Doesn't matter whether she's match point down. She's going to go for it. And this match isn't over just yet.
Yeah, also looking at her face at 40 love, you just got the sense that she felt like it was a long road back. Yeah, I think you could see it, but good couple points from Garcia.
3rd match point. Oh, we still go on. And this match is still not done. I mean, Swiatek's not done a lot wrong on these match points.
No, it's been all on Garcia's racket. But this is what I mean when she doesn't think so much about what she's doing. She can play like that consistently.
45th winner for Garcia, yet looks like she could end up losing the match. She's only had 26 unforced errors as well. It's been a stunning performance. I mean, sometimes we talk about the numbers, maybe not doing matches justice. You feel the numbers are accurate here because Swiatek's hit twice the amount of winners than unforced errors as well. It's been rich in quality. And it's a 4th match point for the world number 2.
And there's nothing you can do about that. It was not a bad second serve, deep into the body. But that's how decisive Garcia has to be. No doubt in her mind on that one.
Oh, well, that was a chance.
Yeah.
Guess the right way. Swiatek gets away with it. Fifth match point. That is a phenomenal win for Iga Swiatek. Caroline Garcia threw the kitchen sink at her. Arguably the best performance of the year for the French player. But Swiatek showing her mental toughness and showing just why she is a 4-time Grand Slam champion. Moves through to the semi-finals here in Beijing, takes down a former Beijing champion in 3 fantastic sets, 6-1 in the 3rd.
I think it's just absolutely incredible performance from both. The quality of tennis. I mean, even though Garcia maybe dropped a little bit in the 3rd, it was still exceptional from both players. And she should be proud of that she had Swiatek on the ropes, had chances to close it out to that 5-all in the 2nd set tiebreak, but Swiatek just showing how mentally tough she is to stay in that match.
Let's take a listen to what Iga has to say.
Yeah, Garcia, if you remember, 2 points away a couple of times in that 2nd set, but
whenever you're ready, Iga.
As we know, Swiatek is made of steel, and it was even more impressive perhaps the fact that she was up a double break, pegged back, up 4-11 the tiebreaker, pegged back, but as you said, when I asked you that tough question, what you were most impressed about in terms of with Swiatek, it is her ability to forget, that mental toughness, and ability to stay in the present, and was able to do it there. And that's a fantastic comeback win, because the 1st set was dramatic as well. Let's not forget she had a set point herself in that opening set, and again was able to put that behind her.
Iga, first of all, congratulations on your victory right here. And you have become the 1st semi-finalist of the tournament. But first of all, it was a beautiful comeback, especially from behind. And in the end, it was a little bit difficult to close out, especially when the opponent erased a couple of your match points. What was going through your mind?
Well, I just wanted to be patient, you know, and I knew that Caroline is the kind of player that likes to take risks, you know, and she's really powerful, so I wasn't surprised, you know, by her shots or, you know, all these aces, but I'm happy that I kind of get my confidence and I knew what I had to do to just, you know, win more points, and that's the most important thing.
Indeed， 刚才Swiatek表示，当对方一而再再而三的是化解了他的赛点的时候，他觉得自己就必须要耐心的等待机会，一分一分的打对方确实打得很顽强，最终他能够顽强的自己胜出呢，以自己的这样强势胜出，还是很开心。我们的音乐能不能调轻一点？我们来听听斯瓦泰克的讲话好不好？我们听我们的调控台稍把音乐调轻一点。斯瓦泰克还有很多要跟我们分享。Just now I was mentioning actually, this is your first visit to Beijing and also first time to be in the tournament, and you have guess what? Become the 1st semi-finalist of the tournament. You must have a lot to look forward to.
Yes, for sure. You know, I love being here. I'm, you know, just shocked how great everything is in terms of, you know, the facilities and even the weather is perfect. So I'm really enjoying myself here, and I'm happy to be here for the first time, my first Asian swing. So now I know that it's going to be pretty exciting for the rest of my career.
Absolutely， 他确实觉得这次来中国啊，尤其第一次来北京参加这样的比赛，能够有这么多的热情的观众，那么多的支持，而且天况又那么理想，场地又那么好，在这儿有这样好的发挥，他说对他来说，以后会经常来亚洲参加这样的比赛，来中国比赛啊，我们确实也是非常的期待。See, actually, what you said really aroused the crowd here. Well, I'm sure you would like to say a few words to the crowd, if you will, especially tomorrow. You need their help and support.
Yes, obviously. Please, come to our matches. We still have, a lot of empty seats, so let's try to fill them out. And yeah, we'll do our best to just give you the best show possible. And thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support throughout the whole week.
Especially your crowd right there.
Oh yeah, hi.
Thank you. Job well done. 辛苦呀。
Yeah, she said they're playing her first ever Asian swing. You do have to remind yourself just how young Iga Swiatek is, still only 22, and when you consider the last time this tournament was played, she was 18. Making her debut in Beijing and making it count through to the semi-finals. And we'll play the winner of the match between Sakkari and Goff, which will be out on court in just a few moments' time. But what a quarterfinal that was.
It was incredible. And like you said, the quality of the match, between the difference between the winners and the unforced errors category for both players, way more winners for both of them. It was just an exceptional high quality. And a few more unforced errors at the end. I think that was the biggest difference we were talking about before that third set started, what it was going to take. And I think it was who was going to be able to keep their composure throughout that third set. The serve, I think, was important. I think Swiatek started seeing a few more second serves where she could attack, and just overall more solid in the end.